Did a man named Connor get off work late?
This better be good. I was literally just playing Raid Shadow Legends. Not a sponsorship, by the way.
Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me today. So as you saw by the title of the video, it might seem a little confusing, but just let me explain. So the title of this video was, as you saw, Not the Same Carter. And I basically showed the Carter from his TV show adaptation versus the one you see in Character Clash. Now what I'm trying to basically say here, in shorter words, is that the Carter from the Detective Carter TV series is different from the one from Character Clash. Now let me explain as to why. So it's been said in a couple episodes of Character Clash about how Carter wants to get his next film and about how every character talks about their movies and everything. The TV show exists in its own world. Character Clash exists in our world, if that makes any sense. I'm going to try to explain it the best way I can. Like last episode when Descendant said to me, "Yo, guys, I was wondering if we could talk about Heroes of Tomorrow." And then he went on my camera pretending to be me and said, "Hey guys, so tomorrow we're going to be dropping Heroes of Tomorrow." That's because all the characters that are in Character Clash exist in the real world, and they play the characters in their own movies and their own shows. So when they say things like, "Oh, you're not going to be in the next Zeo Ninjas movie," that's because they exist in the real world. But the ones that you see in the movies and the shows, they're their own universe. So the ones that you see in the shows and the movies, those are their own separate things. The characters in the real world play the ones in the show. So the reason why I'm talking about this is because, and this is me finally saying it, we will soon be dropping, well, not soon, it's going to take a little while, but we will be dropping Detective Carter Back in Action. And when you watch that, I want you to understand that the Carter from Character Clash is entirely different from the one from his show and his movie. Because, spoilers if you haven't seen it, but on the last episode of Detective Carter, he ended up getting arrested and sent to jail because he was framed for being the Jester, his arch nemesis. And in Character Clash, he's out and about and, he's hanging out with people with superpowers, which was never introduced in the show. And it's because in the real world, Carter is the actor who plays himself in the show. Descendant is an actor in the real world who plays himself in the movie, which I still haven't dropped. And Goldie is a Zeo Ninja. I'll talk more about that another time. So yes, I am announcing Detective Carter Back in Action will soon be in the works. So when you watch Detective Carter Back in Action, don't expect to see Descendant or Goldie or me, because in the Detective Carter universe, those people don't exist. In the real world, they do. But in the show and in the movie, they don't exist. What I will say though is that there will be some surprise cameos and name drops in the movie that I hope you guys enjoy. You guys remember Taro, the Terrible Superhero? I will be rebooting the show, only because when I first started it, I didn't have a good cast of actors. But now that I do, I wanted them to be portrayed as not all me. I wanted them to be portrayed by their own people. So I will be restarting and going all the way to the finish line for Taro, the Terrible Superhero. And then once that whole thing is concluded, Detective Carter Back in Action should be dropped. Will it be in the works as the time that we shoot Taro, the Terrible Superhero? Yes. And there's a great reason for that. And I'm pretty sure you already get the idea. I'm not going to say it, because if you don't, I don't want you to get it right now. But if you understand what I'm basically trying to say here as to why we're shooting Taro, the Terrible Superhero, and then having Detective Carter in the works while we do that too, then, nothing else needs to be said. So what did we learn from this video? Let's break it down. Carter is an actor in the real world, and that's the one from Character Clash. But the one in the show and in his next movie, that Carter is in his own world. Descendant and Goldie, they're also actors in the real world, but in their movies, they're the characters they portray. So I hope this might clear up any confusion if you've been wondering, wait, why is Carter not in jail? He should be in jail. And why is Descendant here, even though his movie never came out? And it's really not his movie, but you'll get the idea. I just wanted to clear this up in case when the film drops, nobody's confused. So don't expect to see Descendant or Goldie in the Detective Carter Back in Action movie. You get that? Cool. That's all I really wanted to talk about today, everybody. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the future projects. See ya.